All right, welcome everyone. Tuesday edition, Attention Training Tuesday. Uh, quick, I don't know, sort of making it personal here. Here's what happened to me this morning. Trying to show you guys a picture of my car tire with a big old nail in it, and noticing that it's depreciating how quick, my mind was to come up with all kinds of negativity. I don't know how else to describe it. Um, but I saw it, and then before I knew it, my whole universe just sort of, collapsed into this like, oh, why me and why today? I don't have time, and oh, now I got to get this fixed, and maybe I won't be able to get from here to back home, let alone figure out how to get the tire fixed. And just a great reminder of noticing how there's this flood of sensation and emotions and all kinds of stuff that just took over. And then I was able to refocus my attention on, hey, what's really happening here and how big of a deal is this? I thought, you've had plenty of flat tires or nails in your tires before, and you have a choice here. You can either go down that rabbit hole and let the sensations and emotions take over, or you can stay focused on what you got to do to have the day ideally unfold, at least with the intention of where I want to take it. Hey everyone, I'm back. Is this better, Delilah? Audio? Okay. I'm just going to bail on the images. So I was just saying, let's use a body scan as a practice for first and foremost just noticing what's going on, so that we can then this other part of ourselves can make a choice as to where we want to go with it, rather than getting hijacked by the sensory and emotional experience of something going in a different direction than we wanted it to. So start by closing our eyes and immediately noticing how what happens to sight when we close our eyes. It doesn't stop, simply changes. So we're not necessarily seeing images of objects in front of us or in our sort of field of vision from the outside, but now we start noticing all of the visual activity that is still there even with eyes closed. It simply changes. Maybe you'll notice some sensory experience like fluttering of the eyelids, some shapes, colors moving about in the field of vision. So even though the eyes are closed, we're still very much seeing and experiencing the sense of sight. It's neither good nor bad or right or wrong. It's just what's happening right now. allowing ourselves to have attention zero in on the subjective experience of sight with our eyes closed, just noticing what's presenting itself. And then shifting to hearing, just noticing what are the ears picking up right now. And notice how when we focus on sounds, when we focus our attention on hearing, we're doing so to some extent at the exclusion of seeing. So we're kind of choosing one over the other. So right now we're choosing sounds. And we can reorient attention back to sight or back to this picture show that presents itself in behind closed eyelids. So we're really just flexing our attentional muscle, if you will, to focus on objects of our choosing. So let's go down to the feet. You wiggle the toes, noticing the feet in contact with the ground. Maybe you have shoes on, maybe you're barefoot. Just bringing full attention to the experience of feet, and the feet feel in this moment. We are intentionally focusing on feet at the exclusion of other experiences that we could be having. So you might notice thoughts, might notice other body parts or other senses. That's all okay. See if you can just filter out those experiences and simply focus on the feet. Working our way up the back of the legs to the calves. Maybe there are noticeable sensations there, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Just being with whatever is there. And to the knees, the back of the knees, to the front of the knees, to the patella, and slowly working our way up. Quadriceps muscles, big muscles, usually lots of sensation there. To the pelvis, just resting for a moment on the hips or the legs attached to the torso. If it's helpful, you can shift around a little bit, so you can move the legs a little and see if you can amplify any sensation in the hips. And working our way up to the belly, and around to the back, to the spine. Imagine your attentional focus just moving up one vertebra at a time. Lower back to the mid back, to where the ribs meet the spine. Past the shoulder blades, the neck, between the shoulders. And if at any point in this process you notice memories or other images or thoughts that are distracting, that's okay. Just keep returning back to focusing this attentional beam on, in this case, the neck, the vertebra in the neck. So the base of the skull. Noticing how the skull sits on top of this last vertebra. And just taking in sensation of what it's like to have a head, a skull, lips, a tongue, and a nose, eyes. Ironically, I think we spend so much time in the head. We think of ourselves as basically a head with a body attached. Just noticing, even in the head, there are so many other sensory experiences to be had that we oftentimes don't notice. Working your way all the way to the top of the skull, and then imagine hovering 4 to 5 feet above the body, sensing down and just noticing the whole organism, all the way from the feet to the legs, the pelvis, torso, and arms, with the head on top. This is what it's like to inhabit the body in this moment. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Air all the way out of the lungs and the belly. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale. Out. Letting go, relaxing the shoulders and the hands and the belly, the feet. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the eyes. Notice how as soon as we open the eyes, there's a whole flood of other sensation that will invariably distract from the feet and the pelvis and all these other things. So the goal is just to notice what the body is doing, and in situations where you can feel hijacked by thoughts, dropping back into the body can be a really useful mechanism to get regrounded in the present moment and yeah, figure out what you want to do next from there, flat tire or not. So hope that was helpful. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.